everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with another challenge accepted. And today we have a beautiful sketch from Page Maps that's part of the Mercy Tiara YouTube Hop, Inspiration YouTube Hop. And I'm going to do this with Calvinball rules. I have filled my little bowl of points there. I made a cluster that has a lot of points on it, and I'm just going to kind of go through things. I've cut all the papers here to kind of go with this. I'm going to use, instead of one large photo, I'm going to use a large one and a small one, and I'm going to have a, instead of a, because my photo has some empty space over on this side, I'm going to do a frame in the other photo to kind of mimic this cluster, and then this cluster will go on the other side. And here's my journaling that comes down. I'm going to try to do this as in a monochromatic pink with touches of kind of an orchid pinky purple. So that's kind of what's shaping up here, and I'll explain to you why each thing's being used. I had a request to identify supplies that I use, and so I'm going to tell you that this chevron zigzag wood grain background paper is by Glitz Design, and it's their Dapper Dan collection, and it's a great collection. I have 2 sheets of this paper. The other side is also a wood grain with white polka dots. I love it, so I'm going to use that one next. So I'm going to start gluing things down quickly. One of the things that I noticed on the in the cluster here is that there's a banner being held on by a safety pin. And so I went through my sewing box, my old sewing box, and these are probably 50-year-old safety pins. So I'm going to start gluing things on, and then we'll kind of, but actually, first, I'm going to do a few sprinkles kind of off to the side. One of the rules is ink splatters, and I'll just do a few like this. And I don't usually do this, especially with, this is Dylusion's shimmer spray, and it's funky fuchsia. It's not really pink, it's kind of a pinky purple, which is kind of my theme here. I don't usually dry things, especially when they're shiny. Actually, I kind of like that shine, so I'm going to maybe work around it. It doesn't seem to be wet. What this shimmer spray does, if you've never used it, is when it hits, it's like wet ink. But then when it begins to dry, it I'm kind of trying to shine enough light on it that you can see, it takes on almost, it almost puffs up. I'm not sure how to say that. So you can kind of see that on both sides. And what's happening there is the mica that makes it shimmer is kind of rising to the top of the liquid that's sitting on top of your paper. So it's just a wonderful look, and I love that. Let me put it away so I can find it again next time. Okay, now we're going to start assembling things, and I'm going to have I'll have the sketch out here. There is a pattern paper up at the top. Kind of select that middle area there. I'll eyeball it. kind of put it there. And there's another piece that's gonna overlap that, and of course the clusters will go through there. I've cut these squares 6 by 6, and because my photo, because my photo is almost the exact same width, I won't have any border on it, so I'm going to offset it a bit. And that'll work with my plan better anyway. So I've got, this is a very old paper pad that I have that has several different shades of pink that happen to match this plaid, which is from the plaid, and this, this dot and the purple that I'm going to use are from Truly Grateful by Paige Evans. So I'm going to line that up with one of the lines in the plaid. I'm going to tuck this under. I cut this, used this border punch here. It is an EK Success border punch, and I cut it planning to use this purple, but then I kind of saw the leaves there, and it kind of has the right colors, but I still think I'm going to use the purple side. I'm going to put that off to the side, and when I cut it, this was a scrap that I had punched some snowflakes out of, and so it's kind of a little bit messed up there, and that was kind of the end of it. I'm going to layer something over that. Let's see. That works okay. Let me get this and this. I'm going to line it up so that okay, there we go. Now, I've got I'm going to back the photo with foam. I'm not going to mat it because there are lots of patterns going on here, and I don't think it's going to need a mat. I'm going to offset it, and the background wood grain will be something of a mat. And the pink that it overlaps. So I'm going to kind of scooch it down a bit like this, lining it up with those dots. And then that gives me some spots I like embellishing in corners. That kind of gives me some spots. This particular layout is about Ava's mesmerizing eyes. Okay, you're going to laugh at this, but one of the rules that became active today is to use toilet paper. So this, my friends, is toilet paper. I took a single sheet and I put some glue on the back of the photo, pressed it down, and then kind of tore it. And I'm going to layer it like this on the frame, I think. Let's see if I want to put the frame at an angle, and then maybe I'm going to have a cluster rather large cluster over there. Let me get some glue on here. I maybe should have planned this out. Just so you'll know, there's a date stamp, another stamp, some stitching, some sunglasses, and a frame, and this toilet paper, and a black and white photo, all of which gets me points. So I've got that there. Let me put a bit of foam on the back of that. I'm going to put the tape on the foam because I don't want to try to run my tape runner over the toilet paper. I'm thinking that probably wouldn't work out well. So I'm going to maybe do it up a little bit. Nah, I'm going to come down. Here, I'll move it in so it's not much farther off of this cluster as it's kind of equally off the center, this center thing here as this is. So they kind of stick out equally, if you will. That's a well-known scrappy term, sticking out. Okay, I'm going to kind of hold back on the placement of this. One of the points one of the rules is white gel pen and another is stencil. And this is actually what was left from some embellishments. This is a press board. It's chipboard that's raw, and it's from scrap mats. It's a prize I won in a crop at let's see, Scraptastic Inspiration, Julie Wickens' site a long time ago, and I've saved it just to use it as a stencil. So I'm going to use the pen to kind of go through the stencil, and that maybe isn't the best idea because these the stems are too narrow for the pen to go, and it's kind of thick there. Let me kind of get, even if I get it roughly in there, I can smooth it out. Later, I'm going to put some little lines on the leaves. Okay, so there's that. I can kind of color those guys in. Okay, so that's my stenciling and my white pen. I may write something on it later in white pen. Another point we need is a doily. So what I thought I'd do is kind of layer the doily in. I can't do it that way. I'll do it like this, just kind of, actually, let's do this. That's not good. I'll go under this layer and have it just a little bit peeking out. I really didn't want that to be a huge feature, so I'm going to kind of stick a little liquid glue and then I can move it around before it dries. I'm going to lift all this up, kind of tuck that under, and have it just kind of peeking out. Okay, that's good for that. This is the fake stitching that I used here. I've identified purple is one of the rules. It's one of the temporary rules that's active right now. And I love purple, so I'm trying to use it as much as possible. And just to kind of give you an idea, the points here, there's a point for a label, a point for a list, a point for a shamrock, one for toadstools, one for a balloon, that's the top of a hot air balloon, one for one snowflake, one for snowflakes, plural, so there are 2 to fill that one. Word strip, books. Actually, the word strip isn't, it's a phrase strip, and I have one of those coming in a minute. There's a crown, a hedgehog, banners, gold foil. So I don't know how many points this guy has. Gets me right now, but I'm going to put it on. This is one of those that I'll have to figure out where the title goes after I've got everything else on that I need. Okay, I'm going to overlap that. Okay, there. Need a tag, and this might be nice here where the, and I need a flamingo and a tag. So how about if I do this here? I don't really want to hide the flamingos that much. Let me see if there's something else I could use kind of under here. I've got some little pink enamel dots. Let me put my scrap mats stencil away. I've got an arrow. Love you all the days. It's also acetate is a rule, and arrow is in the rules. So I'm going to find one spot on here, like under this O. I do not know where this arrow came from, but I love that it's pink and orange, and the colors in this this plaid down here also pink and orange. Let's see where I can put the tag. Tag might be cute right here because you can see it, and I can like put that, if I put some foam on it, the bow will kind of stick up over the show right there. Okay, that works. Now I've got room for something small like this. This is a, I don't know, I think it's an Amy Tangerine paper, and it's, I fussy cut this camera and then used some glossy accents on top of the heart-shaped lens there. So I've got a, put a little film behind it. It's perfect to just kind of insert under there. And it goes with my color scheme. I have I was going to show you, this is a planner sticker that has a whole bunch of hot air balloons on it. So where I don't want to overstate the balloon, I fussy cut one little balloon out of it. And let me put that over with the balloons. And this is a paper, pattern paper from Paige Evans, Truly Grateful, where this paper and this paper and this paper came from, and a lot of the embellishments. This is from, another of her collections, Horizon, and that's from a Heidi Swapp collection. This frame is from a Cocoa Vanilla collection. I have no idea where that pattern paper came from. It came from a paper pad, and I went on a tear, if you will, through a bunch of paper pads a while back for just kind of seeing which pages in there I thought I would ever use, and then which which ones could maybe, let's see. I want to tuck this under without hiding too much of the, let me get this tweezers, that hiding, I don't want to hide this bow at all, don't really want to hide the little lens. Okay, so that can go there. I have a leaf where one of the rules is for foliage or leaves or foliage, and I think I have a floral identified and it has leaves and foliage, but I thought I'd add this, just this touch of kind of purple right over there. Anyway, another rule is for photo corners. And I have these pink photo corners. I think I'm going to use one here. It's a little bit different shade of pink than I'm using elsewhere, but I'm thinking that's okay. I want to put a pop dot under it. The photo corner has adhesive, and it wraps around, and it will stick, and I'll lose my dimension if I don't do this. Okay, and that props this corner up nicely. I have another photo corner to go somewhere else, and to be honest, I really don't want to use it up there. And this corner is covered. I'm going to leave it off. We'll just pretend that I have one there and I covered it up and you can't see it. Okay, I have a couple of other tiny embellishments. There's a citrus fruit that needs to go on here. So I've got this really tiny orange, and I'm gonna lay the orange, layer it underneath those sunglasses. And there's one for a circle, and I don't need to, but this is kind of loose, and it kind of goes along with the little dots that are in other places there. I think this is a Vicky Bouton puffy sticker set. So I'm going to layer it kind of under that snowflake. Now, just to tell you the story of the snowflakes, there is a requirement for striped paper, and I die cut this snowflake from striped paper from the Bloom Street collection, and these two were cut from Truly Grateful, but I managed to get in my stripe. There's a wood grain paper requirement. I've got that there. Let's see, I'm kind of thinking it's time to figure out where the journaling goes. And I think right there is okay. I want to pop it up, and then I will do my enamel dots on top of that. Let me get this up a little higher and turn it so that you can see everything I'm doing. Okay, here we go. I'm going to layer this under the shamrock, and if I can get it layered under the photo there. That works. Okay, and then I've got in the original, there's a line of stitching. There's, kind of a delineation there. And I thought I'd just line up these enamel dots kind of between the photo and the journaling. And I'm going to put them out like that, and then put it in the middle to get good even spacing. Not a necessary touch, but enamel dots get me a point, and that's as good a place as any to put them. There is a rule for washi tape, and I have this washi tape that has the word adorable, and it has both pink and purple hearts. So I'm going to tear that off, and whereas I have this arrow over here, I thought I'd do the washi tape maybe over here and have it overlap there. And fold that behind. Okay. Now let's see what else I have in my box. Oh, okay. Wood veneer is a rule, and gold foil. I already have some on there, but so that's not necessary. And a paper clip. So this is a paper clip that's made of wood veneer, and it has pink stripes and some gold foil on it. So I thought maybe I'd use it right there. It doesn't interfere with the picture of her face. I've got a circle that says love this. I don't need to use it. I have circles to fulfill my circle requirement, but you know, I'll kind of hold it out as a possibility. There's a requirement for, or not a requirement for, there is a rule to have a rainbow. So I fussy cut this rainbow out of, I think it was a Bella Boulevard pattern paper. And let's see, maybe here on that frame. If I did this, she'd have a cloud overlapping her face. If I did this, I would be kind of messing with the photo corner, and I already, let's see, I may do it right here. There's a little rainbow kind of over the sunglasses. Were you able to kind of see that? Before we go too much further, I ought to really watercolor that let's see. Ought to watercolor the yippee that's stamped. Watercoloring is another rule. I've got this swan, which there's a bird rule, and we already had flamingos, and I've used those. I want to see if the protective covering, it is, because I want to use this facing the other direction. I don't know if my flamingos would qualify as birds, but I thought this would look cute up here anyway. And I love, this is a perspective from Bramble Fox, and I subscribe to their Fox box, so every month I get a box of goodies, and that particular month we got both black and white swans. This is a vellum heart that is also pink, so it kind of fits the color scheme. I thought I might try to cut it right in half, layer it so that the black and white is on one side and the pink is on the other side. I think maybe this side would work best. So let me put a tiny bit of glue right here. And and I think that's enough for it to stick. There's a vellum point and there's a heart point. So I'm going to get both of those with that. Okay, that's going to work fine. Now, there's a hexagon rule, and I have 3 hexagons there. This is a cocoa vanilla pattern paper. It's a floral on one side and a pink on the other side. I could do kind of a collection of them here. Kind of like that. And then and do I want them on the floral side or the pink side? I think I'm going to go with the floral side, and I will just do a little, I've got an awful lot of pink, and this pink looks nice with that pink. I'm going to put the flat side up. I'm going to bisect or dissect, or however you want to call it, that line with that top part of the hexagon, or with the hexagon. And I'm going to do another one kind of like arranged the same way. Get this like that. Okay, that introduces a few other colors, and I'm okay with that. It's still, I think, going to read as a monochromatic pink, even with 60 things on it that may or may not be pink. There are 60, I think, close to 60 rules. Okay, facing the wrong way. Let me get this like this. Didn't want to do that. Got some glue there. I want to put this one kind of up here close to the very top. Okay. That's good. And then I'm going to sprinkle some sequins around in there. I've got the paper clip. There's a rule for bling and one for sequins. And in my little sequins cup here, there is a tiny little pearl heart. And this would have fulfilled the heart requirement, but I used the vellum heart anyway because I needed vellum. But if I wanted to just use a couple rhinestones of bling here, I could have done that. And the heart would have been this would have been my heart, and that would have been just a couple rhinestones would have been my bling. Okay, so that's cute there. Let me get just a few sequins kind of out here. I'm going to do one pink one, and I'm going to try to put it on a white background so that the pink looks pretty. Okay, there. And then these are clear. And I thought I'd do a few up here. The sparkle, I think, will draw your eye to the hexagons, or the hexagons will draw your eye to the sequins. Not sure which way it'll work, but I think it'll be a good placement. Okay, that's there. I have one too many sequins out, but I have plenty of those. I said I had plenty of sequins out, but I managed to lose one of them. Okay. There we go. And let's see if there are any other. I have a title. There is a phrase sticker that that we're to use, and I've got some possibilities. I love this, and I think this is what I'm going to use because it's the right size, and it says bright and beautiful, and it's from a Cocoa Vanilla happiness collection sticker sheet. Let me see where this should go. I think I'm going to do it right there. And again, it overlaps the photo, but in that this is a pillow that she's lying next to. And so I'm done with that sticker sheet. Put that away. I've identified a few, whoops, a little accident there. A few other stickers for florals. I like this one. It has a lot of the colors I want, and I envisioned it going here, and I'm going to tuck it under, even under the doily. And the reason for that is I really don't want to cover any of her face. And that's got kind of that orange. This repeats the orange that's down here. And it's from the same collection, so it's the same orange. I have some stars. There is a star requirement. So I've identified some stars here that kind of, I'll put this lighter star there. Here's a more fuchsia one. I'm going to put this one. This one's a little larger, and I can fit a pop dot behind it. I'm also going to pull a butterfly from here because I don't think I have a butterfly. I could have a stencil. There was a butterfly in that stencil. I'll put that there. And then there's another star. Here we go. And this one, I think I will, I'll kind of put right there, like it's just tucked, slightly tucked under the tag. Okay, is there there's a Shine Bright, there's It's a Long Story. I Love You All the Days actually qualifies as a phrase sticker, but it's acetate and not really a sticker. So I'm gonna, I think the Bright and Beautiful, that was a sticker. Be sure that that was a sticker and not a piece of ephemera. I have this, love this. Again, maybe, yes, let me do that. I'll layer it on top of the flamingos, but so that you can still see the flamingos. And it matches the color perfectly. That's Cocoa Vanilla, a piece of Cocoa Vanilla ephemera. Okay, I think I'm done using these stickers. I like this one that says See the World, and since it's about her eyes, I thought that might be appropriate. And there's a little yellow here in the fringe on that pillow. Bright and beautiful, see the world. Can I put it here? I'm noticing that this paper isn't parallel with the bottom. You know what? It's just going to stay as it is, and I may layer this on some foam. And now I'm at the point where I think I have all my points on, but are there any other embellishments I want to do? I do need to get, oh, my tape runner has just quit. So we'll be doing other kinds of adhesive for the rest of this. Okay, I'm going to put that there. I'm going to dab a little liquid glue here because taking it up has weakened the bond. Okay, so that's there. Is there any other embellishing that I would want to do? I do have a shamrock. I'll check points, and to be honest with you, if I find any that that I haven't included, I will include them before I take the still photo to post. So I'm going to do this. I maybe should have done this before putting it in. Let me see if I can do this. I'm safety pinning at the last minute, and that's it's not for Calvinball points, but it's in keeping with the original. And she was very much in diapers at the time that these photos were taken. She's probably about 3 months old, I want to say. Just beginning to kind of hold her head up, or maybe it was propped up. That might have been a couple months. Anyway, and if you didn't know, that's baby Ava. Let me get my watercolors out. I'm going to watercolor the word yippee in I'll just reinforce the pink. It's on a pink background. I have a little bit, this is an Amy Tangerine watercolor set, travel watercolor set that came as a gift from the Secret Not Secret Rediscover Your Stash retreat a year ago in Oak Harbor, Ohio. So let me kind of do this, and I'm wanting it to kind of run out here. Okay, are you able to see kind of what I'm doing there? Yeah. That is the orange that was already on the brush, and the pink I just added to it gave it the exact same color as this orangey pink plaid. So I'm thrilled with that. That worked out better than I could have hoped. Okay, now I have date stamp right there, my own handwriting here on the list. I'm just going to kind of point out Calvinball points. Florals, foliage, washi tape. Let me get the washi tape on there straight. I have ink splatters. I have a bird right here in the swan. I have sequins. I have bling. I have flamingos, a tag, a heart that's vellum, enamel dots, puffy stickers, crown, gold foil, an arrow on acetate, lots of stuff on here. Again, foliage with this leaf, and it is monochromatic, and I have two photos. One is is black and white, and I'm going to prop that photo up, the little black and white one, with a piece of foam that I will put liquid adhesive on both sides. And I've got toilet paper. Who knew? Absolute very first time I've ever used toilet paper on a layout. And I was at first, you know, the whole acid-free thing concern that we all kind of grew up worrying about. But I realized that the Fun Foam I use is not acid-free. This doily is not acid-free. I use those all the time. And I never scrapbook a photo unless I have a digital copy of it, so I can always reproduce the photo. And 100 years from now, when my great-great-grandkids are looking at this to see what their what Ava looked like when she was a baby, and what big eyes she had, they'll be able to print the photo and say, darn, that toilet paper must have messed up that photograph. Okay, now I'm going to do my title down here. It's going to be Brown-Eyed Girl. And the journaling tells about the mesmerizing eyes she had from the time she was a little squirt. She'd open them wide and they'd make you wonder what had caught her attention. She finally grew into them, but they're still the most expressive and piercing eyes you've ever seen on a young girl. All the better to see you with. So I think I have all the possible rules from Calvinball. If not, I'll do my checklist and then I'll add them, and then I'll upload it and publish it. Probably tonight, and then this video will go live tomorrow. So thank you for watching. I really appreciate the time you spend with me, and this one was a lot of fun. I think I really love how it turned out. Bye.